Okay, here's the thing. I wasn't gonna do any of this. I have not recorded anything for quite a while, but I think I shall. I think I want to tell a little bit of this, just for the record, for anybody who might have an interest. On the 19th of August, I had a really bad night. Hardly any sleep. Tossing and turning in bed, headache, dizziness, nausea, and extreme breathlessness. I'm referring to notes here because there's so much of this story that I'd like somebody to know. Anyway, 19th of August, perfectly not reasonably okay the day before. Weeks before, fully active, running up and down the hillside, doing all that work on the hillside, digging, carrying tons of earth, all of that. No problem, fully active. 19th of August, different story. Woke up, as I say, I got hardly any sleep in the night, but breathless, terribly breathless, coughing, sputum. So I we're in the middle of a pandemic. I assumed it was COVID, and I figured, well, there's nothing to be done. You got to ride it out, unless it gets life-threatening. So I just kind of went along with that and did the best I could. That particular day, it was bad weather, so I just didn't even walk the dog in the morning. Didn't even walk Bear in the morning. It brightened up in the afternoon, so I did manage to walk him in the afternoon. Slowly, and with ever increasing stops to get my breath, just gasping for breath. Anyway, so I distance from people at the best of times, certainly at the moment. Wear a mask when I go in the shops, all of that. So I thought, well, if it is COVID, I'm not going anywhere near anybody. I'll just keep walking the dogs, doing the normal thing. So that, it started on the 19th of August. It was like I'd somehow gone off a cliff. Bang, 19th of August. The day before, fully functional. 19th of August, fully disabled. The breathlessness I'm talking about, I just carried on like this for several days, for as long as I could. Just carried on as normal, but, a lot slower and having to stop all the time to get my breath back. This breathlessness business, it's sort of different to normal. We're all used to getting out of breath at some point, and then you just sort of stop, get your breath back, and then you can go again. This breathlessness, it kind of caught me by surprise, and it kind of got worse even after you'd stopped to get your breath. I soon learned that. So I'd be trying to walk up a hill like normal, and I'd suddenly have to stop, and desperately trying to get my breath. But for a short period of time, it would actually get even worse then. I'd overdone it. I should have stopped sooner. I've learned. On several occasions, I almost urinated myself because of how that works. I've never experienced that before in my life. I didn't, but boy, pretty close on a couple of occasions. That was a shock. That was a whole new experience. So anyway, just carried on, just tried to carry on. The headache, that was just permanent. It just went on for day after day after day, and I was taking Anodine tablets and stuff to mitigate that a bit. All of the symptoms, headache, dizziness, nausea, breathlessness, coughing, sputum, just got worse really as the days went on. And almost impossible to sleep. I'd lay down and try and sleep for a couple of hours, and then I'll be back up coughing and spluttering, and just sitting around feeling dreadful. Right. I'd always, for many years now, I'm not a great fan of my experiences I've had with doctors. I've had depression and all of that, so I've spent a fair bit of time having to visit doctors in the past. And negative experiences on every occasion. So in recent times, I've joked, I'd had enough with doctors. I'd have to be carried in. The next time I see a doctor, I'll have to be carried in there. Well, with these symptoms that I'm talking about, it just got worse and worse. And come the 25th of August now, 25th of August, metaphorically, I had to be carried in. I couldn't take any more. I was in big trouble. I was in big trouble. I got some little notes here I'm referring to, because I wrote all that down for a later reason. So rather than tell the whole story, I'm just trying to refer to these notes here. So on the 25th of August, the symptoms were worse, and I'd actually, all this coughing and stuff, I'd actually started coughing up about wisps of blood in the sputum that I was coughing up. And I was feeling like death. Quite frankly, I thought it was COVID, and I thought I was probably on my way. So time to ring the doctor. Time to ring the doctor. I was with St Luke's down on New Road. Very convenient for me. No matter how ill I felt, I could walk to the doctor. I could ring up and generally get an appointment pretty quickly and walk to the doctor if needs be. Perfect arrangement. I rang them up, and lo and behold, I find that St Luke's is closed and gone. So is the chemist next door, where I always used to get prescriptions and stuff. All gone, all gone. I was automatically rerouted to some other, Mayfield Medical Centre, Cherrybrook Square. Ended up getting rerouted there. They have a system in place, the like of which I have never experienced. It seems to be specifically designed to make it incredibly difficult for anybody to get medical assistance when they need it. There's currently, with COVID, 5 minutes, I think it is, about 5 minutes of pre-recorded rubbish that if you've got COVID, don't come to the doctor. I don't understand that. You'd have thought, I fully understand COVID. I've researched it quite a bit now, but you'd have thought they would have used the medical GP practices to kind of feed into the organisation that's dealing with COVID. At the very least, have COVID tests that you could pick up at the doctor's surgery and then take away and post. Do DIY tests, but no, this on the phone, it was almost like deliberately trying to make you jump through hurdles and get rid of you before they had to actually do anything for you. So I called this Mayfield Medical Centre, and after the 5 minutes of pre-recorded rubbish about COVID, did actually manage to get through and talk to somebody. I think they took it fairly seriously. Surely when somebody says, I'm unable to breathe, you would hope they would take it seriously. Some doctor called me back. They wouldn't just put you through. You just got to go in a queue and in the system and all of that. Making it so difficult. But yeah, I was lucky. A doctor called me back very sharpish, and I explained. And miraculously, I can't believe it. They said, right, if you can get here, I think they'd had a cancellation. If you can get here within such and such a time, if you can get here at 9:45 or something like that, we'll see you right away. However, because of COVID and your potentially high COVID risk, what you'll have to do is park in the car park in a certain space in the hot zone and ring us again on this number on the mobile phone and sit in the car and wait until a doctor comes out to get you. I don't know what I would have done if I didn't currently have the car on the road, or have a car. I don't know what I would have done. Not everybody's got a mobile phone. What would I have done if I didn't have a mobile? Anyway, I did what I was told. I left Bear at home on his own, jumped in the car, and using Google Maps on the phone, because I had no idea where this flipping place is that I'm now a part of, where my medical notes have all ended up over painting somewhere. Turns out it's not that far from Windy Corner. But, it took a bit of finding. I don't know how I would have got there if I hadn't had the phone and Google Maps and all that. So, sat in a car park, rang them. I should have, you know, by this point I'm so ill that you know, I'm not filming anything. But boy, I regret that. You know, what an image that was for me, sat in the car, dying, gasping for breath. And somebody knocks on the passenger window in full PPE, you know, full over the head, gang the whole bit, mask, big visor. Couldn't hear a word she was saying, couldn't understand what she was saying. But, you know, clearly she was like the Reaper come to take me in to be seen. So in we went, you know, cursory examination. This is my memory of events, you know, it's a bit unfair perhaps. But it seemed like a very, very cursory few questions, and she had a quick listen to my chest. There was no gurgling or anything like that. It was just hard to explain. I just could not breathe. And despite all the sputum, no gurgling like you'd expect. Anyway, I made the mistake perhaps of saying, look, you know, I've been a lifelong smoker and I've breathed in lots of brick dust doing DIY work in the past. Because my favourite tool was an angle grinder, and I used to cut grooves in bricks to put the wiring in and stuff like that. I would have the room so full of brick dust, you could not see that far in front of me, you know. I did a lot of that in my youth when I was completely indestructible. So I'm fully aware that I was going to be paying a price for that in later life. So I suggested it was, you know, probably COPD. You know, I regret having said that, because perhaps because of that, the doctor said, well, yeah, it's probably COPD. So very quickly, I was out of there. She was going to do me a prescription for some antibiotics to eliminate the possibility of just some little, you know, infection. So prescription for antibiotics was going to be what I was going to get. A prescription for an asthma inhaler. I think that was it then, actually, at that point. And somebody, some nurse at the practice or something would ring up to further the COPD side of things. So that was it. I was out of there and back home with effectively nothing. You know, just back home to carrying on with all these symptoms, coughing up blood, the whole thing, gasping for breath. I had nothing. The prescription, because the chemist is also closed that I used to go to, I had to come up with, well, where are we going to send the prescription? I don't freaking know. Okay, Boots, 4th Street, Boots. I know there's a chemist there. I think they're still open, aren't they? I don't know. Haven't been downtown for months. You know, COVID and all that. I've seen how people are acting down there. No masks, no distancing. I don't want to go down there. But, yeah, Boots, chemist. I was also told, so I'm out of there with a prescription, but also with instructions to phone a certain number in a day or so to organise an x-ray, to book up an x-ray, a chest x-ray. And I was also instructed to go and get a COVID test. So I came out of there with nothing but hoops, hurdles to jump. It was not a positive experience. I was not positive about what occurred there.